Today we're going to test a new 2019 BC-15. We're also going to show you a few new features that have been added to the 2019 model, as well as recap some of the 2018 adjustments. The 2019 model comes in either LPG or natural gas. And one thing you're going to notice on the front is a warning: stop, do not open front gas valve until pilot light is lit. So we light the pilot light from the back of the roaster. As can be seen here, the pilot light is on the back, and like most gas valves, you turn it counterclockwise to open it. Also, while we're talking about the back, one is a new button that's on the back right beside the aviation plug that goes to the exhaust or chaff fan. This button has been added in 2019, so if you're in the middle of roast or in between roasts and your roaster is hot and you want to empty the chaff unit, which is done here below, you simply turn off the button on the exhaust fan, which allows you to open the door on the chaff unit to empty it quickly, either with a shop vac or brush it out with the brush. So we've got our back pilot light on, or at least the valve open. So now we're going to turn on the machine, and we simply turn on the power button. To turn on the igniter, make sure this valve is off, and then make sure you have enough airflow, generally about 4 or 5, and that all your doors are closed in the front. And then you can press the igniter button. When you press the igniter button, you'll hear the buzzing sound, which is sparking the 2 needles on the igniter needle, and then it lights the one, as you can see, it popped off, probably because after lighting it had too much airflow. So after lighting it, you may need to turn it down to 1 or 2 on the airflow. Now we're going to open the valve over here slowly, and we're going to watch all the 20 other burners light up, and then adjust your airflow accordingly. So we're preheating the roaster at 3 kPa with 21 burners. That doesn't take long to heat up. We currently have our airflow at about 3. We didn't turn on the timer for the preheat, but it's only been a couple minutes and we're already up to about 400 degrees. Being that this is the first roast, you may want to preheat it a little hotter than your charge point, and then cut off the gas and see how quickly it goes down, because even though this says 422 degrees, the metals really aren't at that temperature. On the back of the roaster is the the drum speed control. We're going to turn it at about 75, and we can adjust that when we charge the beans based on the tumble in the drum. That's right along the back there. We let it heat up a little hotter than we normally do, and we've cut off the gas and turn down the airflow to see how quickly the temperature drops. My preferred charging temperature is around 350, 375. So we're going to see how quickly that drops, and that'll give us an idea of the metals inside the drum. Today we're roasting 10 pounds of Guatemala coffee. Hopefully you can see okay. The lighting isn't real great. We're actually shooting into our warehouse, trying to keep everything out of the sun since it's so hot out today. So we're guessing that the temperature on the metals are probably at about 350. So we're going to go ahead and start the timer and charge the beans. And as I mentioned, it's 10 pounds of Guatemala. All the beans are in the drum. Close the hopper door, and in just a moment we'll kick on the gas. Some folks charge the drum with the gas on, which is fine. I do every now and then, and others wait to charge it after about 30-40 seconds. I'm going to cut this gas back, turn on my igniter, and light all the 21 gas burners. And I want to keep this somewhat low, probably around 2 kPa, to see what the turnaround is. And if I feel like the rate of rise is going too fast, I'll cut it back. If need be, I will increase it. My airflow is going to be kept at about 2 for right now, and I will increase it based on a number of factors. One is the hardness of the bean, how quickly I want the drying phase to go. Also, if there's a lot of chaff in the coffee, as well as smoke in the drum, but generally during the drying phase you don't have a lot of smoke. Forgot to keep the recorder on, but it did a turnaround at about 1 minute and 40 seconds at about 165 degrees on the bean temperature. Right now we're at 174 on the bean temperature, 242 or 243 on the hot air temperature. Our airflow is at 2, our kPa is at 2. Our drum speed is at about 75. As you can see, the tumble in the drum is at about a 45-degree angle, so I'm going to leave it at about 75. I might turn it up to 80 or 85 as we approach first crack. If you can see the temperature, it's actually at about 3 minutes 24 seconds, and we're at about 235 degrees. We went from 165 in about 2 minutes. So with the current rate of rise, it seems like we'll hit the end of drying phase at 3:30, right in the 5 to 6 minute range. So I'm not going to make any adjustments right now. I did kick up the kPa to, the airflow to 3. The kPa I've kept at 2. So here we are at 4 minutes 39 seconds, 290 degrees. I still think I'm okay on the kPa at 2. I might kick up the airflow a little bit. I'm going to take a visual on my beans. They look pretty good. I don't think there's too much chaff in the drum, but I am going to kick up the kPa to about 4. I've ended the drying phase at about 5 minutes 40 seconds, 330 degrees on the bean temperature. Hopefully you can see that. kPa is still at 2. The airflow's at 4. I'm pretty happy with the way this is going so far. As you can see, we're in the mallard or browning phase. A nice light brown. I do note a little bit of smoke in the drum, so I'm going to kick the airflow up to about 5. How well you can see the smoke from here, but a decent amount of smoke is coming out at this point. Ending the mallard phase, it's about 284 degrees, 7 minutes. I'm beginning to hear first crack. We're still at 2 kPa, airflow's at 5. I'm going to bump up the airflow to 6 or 7 and kick up the drum speed to about 85. Turning it back to 1 kPa. By the way, all these figures are based on LPG, not natural gas. Let's take a look at our beans. They're going into a rapid first crack. Looking really good. This particular bean I may take up to about 435 degrees, which we're getting close to, and we're only at 8 minutes 10 seconds, so I'm kicking off the gas. 436, 8 minutes 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and drop the beans, turning on the cooling tray and the mixing arms.